Feanor was the eldest son of Finwë, the first king of the Noldor, and his first wife Miriel. He drew so much of Miriel's life energy when he was born that she grew weary of living, and departed to Lorien, where she voluntarily left her corporeal form and died. Finwë remarried, and had 2 more sons, Feanor's half-brothers Fingolfin and Finarfin, and 2 daughters, Findis and Irene. Finwë loved Feanor, perhaps transferring his love for Miriel onto Feanor. Feanor's skills began to blossom, and other than a skilled smith, he was a linguist and a law master. In 1250, he devised the lettering system of Tengwar, improving the work of Rumil. He created the Palantiri, and also wrought the Feanorian lamps in this time. He then turned his mind to the study of gems. Feanor was possessed of exceptional oratory skill, and could persuade virtually anyone through speechcraft. He also was known to have been restless, exploring as much of a man as he could and constantly crafting new works. His masterpieces were 3 jewels into which he magically bound a fragment of the light from the 2 trees. These jewels were the Silmarils. He crafted them from a material called sillimer, which was harder and more beautiful than diamonds. In their heart burned some of the light of Valinor from the 2 trees. Their exact nature and the manner of making the Silmarils were known only to Feanor, and none other succeeded in making gems of comparable greatness and beauty. The Silmarils were created by Feanor in Valinor after the unchaining of Melkor. According to a legend, Feanor conceived the idea of capturing the light of the trees from the hair of Galadriel, which shone with gold and silver. Feanor gave his heart to their making and could not duplicate them. While it was said that no violence within the kingdom of Arda could mar or harm the Silmarils, they could still evidently be destroyed, as the Valar were implied to have the ability to break them open to release the light within. Recognizing their immense beauty, they were hallowed by Varda, Queen of Arda, so that no hands unclean, or anything evil, could touch them. Feanor would often wear them blazing on his brow at feasts and would allow others to see them. Melkor, who craves to possess the Silmarils, works secretly to destroy Feanor and ruin the relationship between the elves and the Valar. He begins to subtly corrupt the Noldor with his words, convincing them that the Valar are jealous of them and suppress their power. He also reveals the secret of the coming of men, which the Valar haven't yet explained to the elves. The rumor spreads that the Valar are holding the elves captive so that men can take over Middle-earth. Valinor's peace is poisoned as the Noldor become prideful and begin to speak against the Valar. Feanor is especially influenced by the rumors and desires, freedom and wider realms. He becomes greedy with the Silmarils, preventing others from seeing them and forgetting that their light doesn't belong to him. Then Melkor set new lies abroad in Eldamar, and whispers came to Feanor that Fingolfin and his sons were plotting to usurp the leadership of Finwë and of the elder line of Feanor, and to supplant them by the leave of the Valar, for the Valar were ill-pleased that the Silmarils lay in Tirion and were not committed to their keeping. And when Melkor saw that these lies were smouldering, and that pride and anger were awake among the Noldor, he spoke to them concerning weapons, and in that time the Noldor began the smithying of swords and axes and spears. Shields also they made, displaying the tokens of many houses and kindreds that vied one with another, and these only they wore abroad, and of other weapons they did not speak, for each believed that he alone had received the warning. And Feanor made a secret forge, of which not even Melkor was aware, and there he tempered fell swords for himself and for his sons, and made tall helms with plumes of red. Feanor begins to speak openly about rebellion against the Valar and promises to lead the Noldor back to Middle-earth. When Finwë holds a council, Feanor walks in, fully armed, to hear Fingolfin speaking against him. Feanor publicly threatens Fingolfin, who ignores him and leaves the council. The Valar are dismayed by the arrogance of the Noldor and assume Feanor is the leader of the unrest. They summon him before their council and discover that Melkor is the true agitator. However, Feanor is still guilty of drawing his sword on his brother and is banished from Tirion for 12 years as punishment. Mandos promises that, after those years, everything will be resolved if Fingolfin forgives him, and Fingolfin is quick to promise that he will. Though Melkor is ultimately to blame for the trouble in Valinor, that fact doesn't diminish Feanor's own pride and transgressions, which the Valar decide he must be punished for. Fingolfin recognizes the division around him and tries to heal it by forgiving and placating Feanor, volatile where Fingolfin is steady. Feanor leaves silently for exile with his sons. Feanor's father Finwë also follows him in protest, leaving Fingolfin to rule the Noldor in his absence. They make a stronghold in the north called Formenos and fill it with gems and weapons along with the Silmarils. Even with the Valar's intervention, the Noldor are divided. Finwë's decision to leave Fingolfin in charge only further inflames Feanor's mistrust of his brothers and makes his suspicions seem justified. Melkor takes the form of a cloud and disappears as the Valar search for him. He appears to Feanor and attempts to befriend him by offering his aid and suggesting that the Silmarils aren't safe in Formenos. Though Feanor considers the offer, Melkor's mention of the Silmarils convinces him that Melkor wants them for himself. Feanor curses Melkor and sends him away. Finwë sends a messenger to Manwë about Melkor's appearance, but Melkor has already fled Valinor to the north. Valinor is safe for the time being, but the threat of Melkor's return troubles the elves and the Valar.
Hey guys, that is all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Middle-earth lore as we continue with our Wars of Beleriand series. See you soon.